All right, we're going to go over some comments today. A lot of really insightful and good comments, good feedback, but there's a lot to get to, so let's get through this. This is from a Thursday video I did, or it was actually Thursday night. I recorded it on Sunday, I believe, but let's get to some of these. So the first one is Jersey Goal says, put on some music and sports talk radio, enjoy the ride. I do that, Jersey. I mean, if I didn't have Sirius, it just would make life more miserable, to be quite honest. Sirius XM satellite radio. So, kind of curious about Uber Eats now after watching this. Interesting how they get raise the pay to get the order delivered. I'll stop right there. It is crazy. I don't think this happens in every area. I think I'm one of the only Uber drivers here. So they just want the food to get delivered. So good on them. If there was a lot more Uber drivers here, like I've said in the past, I don't think a lot of people have like insurance, registration, and license. You could be a baby in diapers and probably they'll give you a job. DoorDash will, but Uber, no, they're like, dude, you better be straight, So, DoorDash is still good in my area. Didn't do it really this weekend because of the Masters, but made over 20 hours an hour on the week, or $20 an hour on the week. Good on you, dude. And Masters was good, dude. It was good, as you know. So, good comment. Ryan Williams chimes in a little bit later too, and I want to get to one of his comments. It's kind of important, but he said it's gotten so bad in my area with DoorDash. It's not even he's not even tier anymore. Yeah, Ryan. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, but I kind of get it. I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of people in the nation are feeling that same way. John Kill says gig work is just that type of work, or what the type of work it is. That's totally true, John. I mean, it can be good. You can work it, but it's hard and it's not predictable. It's not reliable for sure. So you are correct in saying that. So I appreciate your comment, dude. Dog breath. Free food is better than free booze. He's mentioning I got a free bag of food from McDonald's. It was actually a pretty good order too. Big arch in there, fries and nuggets and some lame sauce and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not sure it's better than free booze, but it definitely is awesome. Dog breath. You're awesome, dude. Lady of Jazz says, sounds like you just got that W-2 just in time. DoorDash is definitely good as a side gig, but exhausting and unpredictable as a full-time job. I'll stop right there. I just mentioned that. It really is not reliable, and it's unpredictable. You're 100% right, Lady of Jazz. You go on to say, it's kind of like going out to eat. If you do it all the time, you get tired of fast food. Kind of the same with DoorDash with me. Keep it simple. Great advice, Lady of Jazz. Another great contributor. Someone replied to you here. Dashing into 40s. It is my homie right there. He said, I agree. I loved DoorDash when I did it part-time. If I made $50, I didn't care. Once I had to rely on it as a full-time job, it became less fun because I stressed myself out and tried to make $150 a day, which is what I need in this market to be somewhat profitable. I'm so glad I got a W-2 now because even part-time, I'm making like $30 in 4 hours. It's just not worth it with these gas prices. Dashing in the 40s, dude. I love you, homie. I am so glad you got a job. It turns out everyone probably should have at about the time you did. You were kind of the front runner in that. So I know your situation. I hope things are going well, dude. I really do. And you're right. You're always right. And I still subscribe to your channel. I know there's probably not a lot of content coming, but always appreciated you for sure, man. And then Lady of Jazz responds to him. Says she came up with a strategy for the high gas prices, but the stress that comes from having to rely on it full time has been real, especially since my market became oversaturated in the past 3 weeks. Working hard and getting my W-2 back to full time. I think when you're just doing it part time, it's a lot more fun and much less stress. 100%. 100% Lady of Jazz. It's funny how that works out too. I actually did pretty good this last week as a side gig. Kind of surprising, and just treat it differently. It also very true. So very Very good points. You guys are all pretty smart, man. Julie all chimes in and says, I'm confused about deactivation and your earned money in Crimson. Would they take your money if they deactivate you? So, in this video on Thursday, I went in with evil intentions. We'll get to that later, but I did drain all my money out of my Crimson account just in case. I don't know if they, to be quite honest, I have an ATM card. I could probably go to the ATM, check my balance, and use that money. But there was a reply, and it was Dog Breath again. It says, if they accuse someone of doing wrong, they tie up your money for a long time. I've seen people not be able to get their money for 6 months. One person who was innocent had to wait 10 months. So I'm not sure that's true, but I do believe you, Dog Breath, and I'm not going to take a chance. I try not to keep too much money in the Crimson account. Fidelity is not ever going to tie up my money. But DoorDash might with the Crimson card. And if you can't log in to transfer it, I guess you have to rely on the ATM card. So that's why I did that, Julie. So Dog Breath kind of answered your question. These people are a lot smarter than me, trust me, Julie. Nomad Eric says, why in the hell would you do delivery in a tiny town of 10K people? Be for real, dude. Dude, first of all, Nomad, I always keep it real. And to be honest, this town it's actually 11K, probably more like 12K. We used to be very profitable. As a matter of fact, people would come in from bordering towns with their much higher population. Redmond, about 40, 45K. Bend, 110K plus. They would come into this town because it was such a gold mine. You only have to drive a mile. Or at the time, with a promo, you make $10 for driving a mile. Get an order, $10 a mile. So people would come into this small town just to work. And Crazy Top can attest to this. He lives in Redmond, and he would do the same thing. So that's why I do it. I kind of take offense to that a little bit, but, everyone's entitled to their opinion for sure. So, and then Ryan Williams has a string of questions here or comments. He says, the batch orders are even worse on DoorDash. I mean, they're getting a little better, Ryan, I'll be honest, but I agree. They never were really good. You also say, I made $201 in 7 hours with Uber Eats on Friday. And today, I'm assuming that was a Saturday or Sunday, but you made $135 in 4 hours with Uber Eats. Yeah, dude. I mean, I wish Uber Eats, you saw the orders. I just made a couple videos where they upped the pay. I mean, if I only did like 4 or 5 Uber Eats orders with the amount they're paying me to get some stuff delivered, that's like all the side money I need. Don't even really need the side money, but money's always good. So, good point you make. You also say, I agree though, DoorDash is trash now. People don't tip anymore, especially on big orders. I've been doing good on Uber Eats, really good. Good on you. I believe it, I will say if I was on Uber Eats in a bigger town, there would be more people to accept offers, so they wouldn't bump it up as much. I feel I just got to take advantage of the Uber Eats upping their offers in my area because I don't think a lot of people do it. Like I said before, I don't think a lot of people have insurance and registration and license. So you have to kind of be on point to actually be an Uber driver. And I don't feel a lot of people here are in that same boat. But then you do go on to say, with a reply here too, just curious, why are you so bitter now? You seemed happy 2 weeks ago. If you like your new job, why does it bother you? Just curious, that's all that was from you. So I'm not bitter. Trust me, I love my job. I'm in a good position. I'm very fortunate. Things are working out. But I'm bitter. Dude, trust me, if I get a $2 order from a customer or a $2 offer, I know it's non-tip from like 7-Eleven and maybe even like alcohol. It's like, are you kidding me? So I always wanted to do this, but I didn't want to get banned. But now I'm in a position where I don't care if I get banned from DoorDash at this point. But if I always wanted to accept an order and wait like 45 minutes, waste my time, but not waste my time. In this case, I told at the beginning of that video, I'm like, I want to get a $2 order, go accept it, come home, wait as long as I can till DoorDash says, you're not going to deliver, so you're in trouble or whatever. It didn't bother me. It's really not DoorDash I was better at. It's the people that don't tip. So, also, good comments there. And then I just posted this video. Wow, there's more more comments. You guys are on point, man. So Aaron Croxton says, I have an iPhone and it lets me jump tasks. I'll stop there. It doesn't let me. I don't know why. I just updated recently too. So if I have a stacked order, it will not let me jump task. If I have 2 Taco Bell orders and one's ready, and the other one's not, I cannot leave the store and deliver that. I could, but I couldn't do it, through DoorDash officially. So let's see. The only time it doesn't let me jump a task is stack. Oh yeah, well, there it is. Same restaurant. It seems to me like if the orders are from different restaurants, it lets you jump tasks. So that is true. I should have read that all the way through, but that part is true, Aaron. So it's strange, but like I said, Crazy Top told me, and I know this because I know a friend in town who has an Android, and she can jump tasks anytime she wants. So strange how that works. And then Crazy Top, of course, great contributor, says, I'm going to start to do what works in your market. But I recently started breaking offers down by 5-minute intervals. I personally want to make $2 to $2.50 an hour every 5 minutes I'm on an order. So if it's an $8 order, I want to be able to complete it in 20 minutes or less, or I likely won't even entertain it. I'm going to stop right there. Crazy Top, you're so smart, dude. Number one, you should be, you should have a channel, number one, or it's almost like you are the moderator of this channel. You're very smart. Let's get to what else, what do you have to say? $15 offer, allow 30 to 40 minutes max. This doesn't include my own personal metrics of miles per dollar, etc. It's just another way of prioritizing my time, which is important. Stop right there. So not only Crazy Top is time is money, but also time is precious, like personal time. You don't spin your wheels, dude. You're really smart. You're really good at this. You get this DoorDash thing and you get this food delivery thing. This is the reason why I started the channel, kind of, is to show maybe what works for me and what doesn't, but you get it, dude. So, man, if you had your own channel, I'd be a subscriber, your first one for sure. Let's see. You also have to understand your restaurants and average wait times in your area as well. Always appreciate you sharing your insights and metrics as well for comparison. My pleasure, dude. I'm gonna go be straight up. We gotta get together. I'll buy you lunch sometimes or sometime. I gotta go to Bend here next couple weeks, or once. I gotta go there quite a bit actually. And if we can meet up, man, I would love to buy you lunch and chat for 5-10 minutes, man. For sure. I might even have a video if it's ever labeled Crazy Top, let's have lunch. That's respond to that because I can't text you. I don't have your number, but I'm serious too, dude. We gotta meet up and have a powwow for 5-10 minutes or so. But I know you're busy and you work and DoorDash, so but we got to make that happen sometime. And Julie all says, well, I'm back in silver status. Declined too many orders. Julie, well, so was I. You know what? Good on you. I'll tell you what, you're probably doing the right thing if you decline too many orders. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. I never thought they would give me so many crap orders that I would have to decline so many that I would get there. I thought for sure that the amount of deliveries for 30 days would put me in silver status, but it turns out the orders are just not good enough. So I don't take them. It doesn't really bother me. Having what you guys call a W-2 or a job helps. I don't really care. It's not as important to me because DoorDash is not my main source of income, but it actually ended up being okay this week. I think I barely hopped into platinum status today or yesterday, but barely. I'll be back down in silver too. So in hindsight, or all in all, you're probably doing a pretty good job on accepting the right orders, Julie. So, sorry, that was a lot to get to. You guys commented a lot on these videos. So, man, you guys, hope you're doing well. Doesn't appear that a lot of you are, but there are a handful of you that are. So, super stoked for you guys. Hang in there. Just be prepared for unpredictability. Don't rely on DoorDash as much as you think you can, because the bottom can drop out. So, but really hope you guys are doing well personally in life and just physically, everything is going well. And y'all take care, man. Peace out.